reality is the world needs you to accomplish your purpose, because that's when the world becomes better. My comedy will impact a part of the world, and my purpose will impact a part of the world, and your purpose will impact a part of the world. My goal is to get people to believe that about themselves, because everybody has it.
Put your hands together for Trenton Davis! I think too young to like Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what the hell are you wearing? She's like, I woke up like this.
And once you start chasing it, it's infectious. People want to be around people that are chasing a dream because it's inspiring. And if I do that, I'll die at whatever age, and there's a ton of people, and the one consistent thing is he inspired me to be better, then it was a good life. That's a good life, you know?
What's up, good people? Trenton Davis, Father's Day podcast. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining me today. We are at 12/28, so it's about 2 days before New Year's Eve. And actually, you can cut that part out because it's just going to be released at a different time. So whatever. Anyway, what's up, man? I just wanted to come and talk to you. I don't have a lot going on. I did Pilates for the first time today ever in my life. So this is the deal. I turned 40 in August of 2017. 2017, half of it was a good year. The other half was tough. 16 was a shitty year for me. Fuck 2016, never forget. 2016 was a shitty year, and it kind of started and it trickled over to 2017. I say it's a shitty year. That's probably not fair. It was a uncomfortable year. It was a year of hurt, and a year of disappointment, and a year of just a discomfort and transition, right? But I'm a firm believer that you have to have those kind of years you have to go through those to go through years of greatness. And so all of them aren't going to be great. So anyway, 16 and half of 17 were challenging and uncomfortable and a lot of hurt and disappointment and pain, right? And then the second half of 17, it just began to shape up. As of about May, it just began to turn, right? And got a new job and comedy changed. Now I'm working at the Laugh Factory so much now that it just blows my mind, because a year ago, I think I may have worked it 3 times all year. Now I work it probably 3 times a week. I get to do the Hollywood Laugh Factory, which is dope. I get to see my face on Sunset Strip. So if you would have asked me, would that be the case a year ago, I would have said no. But so 16 and 17 were challenging. So anyway, in 17, I turned 40, and 40 brings with it just a lot of different emotions. I wasn't having a midlife crisis in that I didn't want to go get a Ferrari. I always like Ferraris, but I didn't want to go get a convertible, or I didn't want to like date a 23-year-old white girl, which I always like 23-year-old white girls too. But I was having more the existential crisis of, all right, I've been in comedy X number of years at this point, or I could, leave it and go get my master's and shoot up the corporate ladder and do that. But that was never really an option. At this point, I've done comedy for so long, I know it'll always be in my life. I'm just hoping that it becomes to a point that it makes more than my day job. So anyway, so in 17, when I turned 40, I went to the doctor. Was like, all right, let me go get a physical, make sure everything is in tip-top shape. Thank goodness I was in pretty good shape. But my doctor was like, and I went to a sports medicine doctor, which I think is cool rather than just a regular general practitioner. I went to a sports medicine doctor, and he was like, hey, Trenton, everybody talks about yoga, and yoga is good mind, body, and spirit-wise. He said, but from a getting older and flexibility and strength standpoint, he really suggests that I got into Pilates. So this is in August of 17. And so I was like, all right, I never tried Pilates at all. I probably knew people that did it, but yoga is super popular, especially in California. I think it's more popular than Pilates. You go all over the country, you see yoga studios, but it's not, at least in my purview, I don't see Pilates as popular. So this morning I was like, all right, doctor told me to do it like 4 months ago. I've been putting it off and I've been traveling and stuff, so it's been hard. But this week I had some downtime, so I was like, I'm gonna go to the Pilates studio. So I went to the Pilates studio. I was the only male, A. I was the only black person, B. So it was super uncomfortable. And I think that's good, people, if you're listening. I think we should force ourselves to do something uncomfortable. Man, I would say once a week, but if it's hard to do it, at least do once a month, right? And because it gets you to overcome being uncomfortable. Like, it was uncomfortable doing comedy for probably the first 5 or 6 years. It's still now, when I go to a city where no one knows me, it's still uncomfortable. But I think being uncomfortable means growth. If you're comfortable 98% of the time, you're not growing. Flat out. I can tell you that right now. So it takes you being uncomfortable to decide, hey, I'm going to write a book. And all our fear and all our ego and all our insecurities are going to tell you, why do you think you can write a book? That's dumb. Don't write a book. That's uncomfortable. But practicing being uncomfortable helps you decide, no, I can write a book, or no, I can write a screenplay, or no, I can start a business, or whatever. And so one of the things I want to do in 2018 is just continuously be uncomfortable, right? Do things that push me out of my comfort zone. Go to places. Take a trip by yourself where you don't speak the language and it's just you. That's very uncomfortable, right? I don't know why it's been on my head, but I want to go to Thailand, hopefully within the next year to 18 months. As a single father, right? This podcast is called Father's Day. As a co-parenting father, I'm not a single father. Her mother is very, very, very active in her life. So I'm not a single father. I'm a co-parenting father. But so oftentimes when I have her, I'm a lot of times the only guy in the situation, and almost always the only black person in the situation. But we can't allow that discomfort to stop me from trying to do new things with my daughter. And I realized over this past holiday season too, I don't want to do as many material things. I want to do experiences. I want to create memories. So, for instance, for Christmas Eve or for Christmas, we went ice skating, right? So again, I'm just trying to create these experiences, and almost all of them are uncomfortable because I've never done it before. I've never had a kid before. I've never been the father of a daughter. And so, like, I can't do hair. Any women listening, feel free to send me a link to classes where I can learn how to do black hair. And I don't want to be great. Like, I don't want to be a hairdresser named Twan, but I just want to be good enough where I can do her hair where that actually should be a good joke. But I just want to be good enough where when she leaves the house, she doesn't look crazy and people don't look at me like you're not doing a good job with your daughter. But anyway, so I need to take a class on doing hair. I'm guaranteeing I'm gonna probably be the only dude in there. Well, I'll definitely be the only heterosexual. I'm probably being biased. I apologize. Maybe it's a lot of heterosexual hairdressers. I don't know any, but maybe it's a lot of them out there. But I need to do that. I'm gonna do a father-daughter. I want to learn a dance routine, like what you see on Step It Up. And I can't dance. They used to call me Rhythmless Nation when I was in college because I can't dance. I know, I get it. He black dude can't dance, blah, blah, blah. I heard them jokes before. You can't do something original. That's hacky. If you comment on that part, it's hacky and kill yourself. But anyway, so I want to do those things. And so today was just a way to say, hey, this is how you start that process. Just go be uncomfortable. So I went into the studio, and it's so funny because when you open the door, it's Temecula Pilates Studio, shout out, pew, pew, pew. When you open the door, you're in the studio. Like, it ain't no hallway. And no, you open the door, you in the studio. And I remember, and by the way, it's grayed out. So it looks like one of those massage parlors where people in there getting happy endings, which I didn't get a happy ending, by the way. Temecula Pilates Studio, you got to step up your happy ending game. I'm joking. Hope y'all ain't listening. But anyway, so I walk in and I'm immediately in the studio and everybody looks up. It was like one of those movies where the record was like, zert, and everybody looked up and it's the black dude who's walking in. And I felt like Reggie Hammond on 48 Hours. Like, it's a new sheriff in town and it goes by the name of Reggie Hammond. So anyway, though, they were super nice. I think my instructor's name was Liz, and she was super nice and super helpful. And I said, I was very honest. I said, look, I've never done this before ever in life. My doctor told me I should do it, and just be gentle. And she was cool. I took the beginner class. And I think I'm going to do it like twice a week. So hold me to it. People comment on this podcast and just ask me, say, hey, you doing Pilates? But I was the only person in there. It was like, I don't know, maybe 10 women of all different ages. And so that made me feel good. It was cool to see older women in there. It was cool to see younger women in there. It was a cool experience. And it works on your flexibility. And I broke a sweat, and then you can do different things with weights, and you actually get a really good workout. So it's dope. So now I do P90X or P93X 30 minutes a day. But what I'll do is the P90X has different workouts for every day. And so on the days that I have like cardio or something, I'll just, rather than do the cardio, I'll just go and do the Pilates studio. So that was cool. So thank you to Temecula Pilates Company for being nice to me. Hopefully you will see me a lot in 2018 and 2019. And maybe I can even do it when I'm on the road. If anybody's listening and you know that I'm going to be in Vegas, right, in February, or if I'm going to be in North Carolina in April or different places, maybe I can do it on the road. That'd be a cool thing to do, like on a Saturday morning. It's a cool way to meet people too. Like I said, I was the only man in there, and after you now I'm not saying go and be a creep. Don't go and be a creep, because I literally kept my eyes down or on me because I didn't want to make the women feel uncomfortable, and they probably didn't. But just being my first time, I didn't want to be a creep. It's weird. You know what I notice is, as a guy, especially now with all the sexual assault and sexual abuse and sexual harassment cases coming out, is it makes you oversensitive to if that can be the case, oversensitive to making women uncomfortable. And by the way, I think that's a good thing. I think men, including myself, have not cared for so long if women are uncomfortable that we've created a culture where we don't care if they're uncomfortable. And so if it means that for the next 50 years, we have to be uncomfortable just to right the ship, then I'm all for it. I got a daughter, Father's Day podcast, I'm all for it. But having said that, going into the Pilates class, I caught myself making sure or thinking about it. I was cognizant that I didn't want to look at somebody stretching, or didn't want to look at somebody, even because you're in class and you're facing people. So I would always look down so that I didn't make people uncomfortable. And I do that now. I realize I'm doing that even in random situations. Like the other day I was walking in Target, and it was daytime, right? But I'm walking in Target, and I didn't want to walk too fast behind a lady because I didn't want her to think I was, I don't know, taking her purse, or I don't know. Is there people stealing at Target? I don't know. But I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. So whatever. That's, So anyway, I did the Pilates this morning. That was dope. And then I'm going to do the P90X and incorporate that in. And then I think I'll hoop once or twice a week. 2017, I didn't do as much hooping as I did in 2016. And now when I go out, I feel 40. Like I used to, I would be killing people. Even at 39, 38, I was still good enough to score, I don't know, 4 or 5 buckets a game. I was still felt like I was adding value to the team. Now, my game is so nasty. So I need to play more, and they said that Pilates will help the flexibility, and hopefully it'll help my hooping, because I was on a team, and then the guy asked me this year, he's like, oh, you going to play on the team? And I was like, I think I'm going to retire. I was not happy with my play all season. Normally I have a standout game. Well, I hit 25 or 30. I didn't have a standout game all season. It was bad. So, which is cool. I mean, I'm 40. I played enough. And I talk about this a lot. I talk about filtering down and limiting or minimizing the stuff we do so that you can spend as much time as you want, as much time as you can doing the things you love. So for me, I want to spend as much time as I can hanging out with my daughter, doing comedy, writing comedy, then of course day job, family, blah blah blah. And so it's okay if basketball is squeaked out. It's okay if basketball is filtered out. I played a lot of basketball the first 25 to 35 years of my life, and so if we need to phase it out, that's cool. I just want to make sure I bring something back that's fruitful and helps me grow, whether mentally and spiritually and physically, obviously. So. So that's cool. That's a New Year's resolution. And I don't wait till New Year's. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I say just start doing it. Just do it. Just be uncomfortable and do it. And you'll look up, and now it'll be a part of your daily routine. And that's what I want. I want Pilates and basketball, a little bit of basketball, to be a part of my daily routine. So that's cool. So I was looking at my goals when I wrote my goals on the last podcast. And by the way, if you did write your goals, feel free to send them to me. We can have a dialogue about it. I'm comedy@TrentonDavis.com or put them in the link. But it's important that you write down your goals. And next time what I'll do is I'll just show you, because I went home and typed them up. And so now they're on my mirror. So I'll print out another copy and show them. But anyway, so one of my goals for last year was to read. I think I said I wanted to read 9 books or 6 books maybe. I think I said 6 books. And I ended up doing 12. And so now this year, since I read 12 last year, now I got to do 15. And so if you got any really good book ideas, let me know, because I'm looking at one. There's one called Sex at Dawn and it was my buddy Paul Otto, and he told me about it when we were performing over in Africa. And so the book is supposed to be super dope. It questions and I don't know who it's from, and I can look at it and Google it, but it questions the validity of monogamy. What do you think about? I know. What do you think about monogamy? I'm questioning at 40. I'm kind of questioning everything right now. And so, look, I'm not saying I'm against a monogamous relationship. But I can say that I don't necessarily think it's natural. I think people are in your life for what do they say? A time, a reason, or a season. Lifetime, a reason, or a season. But for the most part, almost nobody is for a lifetime other than parents. And then even let's say you meet the one and it's for a lifetime. Almost every relationship, somebody's unfaithful. And so we put these very high demands, like you have to be 100% faithful for the rest of your life. And it never works, but we still keep making that requirement. Like, it literally never works. And I know what you're going to say. That's not true, Trent. Yes, it is true. Even you may not know about your parents' infidelity. You may not know about it, but it never works. Everybody has made a mistake and slipped up. And that's okay, because everybody's human. But we make it like you just got to be perfect. And I don't know. I question it. So the book is called Sex at Dawn. I haven't done any reading about it. Maybe I'll come back and talk about it after I read it. Maybe I'll get a guest. It would be so cool if I could get the author, but he or she is probably bigger than me. But whatever. Most I can say is no. Like I said, we talk about being uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable. You email a guy. You know how many people don't respond to email? Email is an easier ask than anything else, because 9 times out of 10, you don't even get a no. If you get a no, hell, at least they responded. At least you can know that it was the right email. In most cases, I don't even get a response. Like when I'm sending out booking requests, I don't get a response. I should name the bookers that don't respond to me. But it doesn't matter, because if they're not listening to my email, they definitely not listening to my podcast. But yeah, bookers don't respond. And it's no big deal. I get it. They probably get 200 emails a day or not. That's the reality. They're probably not getting 200 emails a day. I'm just not high on their priority list. And that's cool. I don't take it personal. Another book that I read a couple years ago is called The 4 Agreements. If you haven't read that book, you should read it. I think it's like 50 pages, Don Miguel Ruiz, I believe. Or if you have read it, read it again. But one of the 4 agreements that I love most is don't take anything personal. And that's so true, especially if you're in a relationship. People oftentimes be like, well, you did this to me. No, they didn't do it to you. They did it, and you just feel some type of way about it. But when you back away and say, okay, I'm not going to take anything even if somebody calls you a dumbass, listen, don't take that personal, because to my 5-year-old, I'm the smartest person in the world, right? To a person that graduated top of their class from Harvard, I probably am a dumbass. Does that make sense? So it still has very little to do with me and more to do with the person that's making the comment. And so that's one of my favorite books, is Don't Take Anything Personal. So I don't take it personal when bookers don't respond to me, whatever. I just keep, and at this stage in my career, enough respond where I get enough work where I'm good. Like I looked up in my schedule and I'm booked out like 6 months, which is great. So bookers that don't respond, thank you. You're just making my life easier and less cluttered. And so I want to get to the point anyway where I'm doing less club shows and more arenas anyway, or not arenas, small civic centers. And so you're just helping me filter that down. And so hopefully the podcast will take off and I'll have 20 million followers. And then I won't have to worry about calling or emailing bookers. I need to get an assistant for 2018. This is my problem with getting an assistant, though, is I want to get an assistant that I like working with, that I think is attractive and that is very adequate, like not adequate, super good at what she does. And she needs to be young, so she's good at social media. The problem with having a young, attractive social media expert is I'll probably sleep with her. And then she'll no longer be a good assistant. And I know you're like, well, Trenton, just don't sleep with her. It's so much easier to sleep with her. It is, all right? And then, look, if I hire maybe not, maybe I'm being arrogant, but if I hire somebody that I'm not attracted to, maybe I'll have more respect for them. Maybe I will. I don't know. I should, hey, look, if you're an assistant and you're not at all sexually attracted to me, feel free to throw me your resume. If you're an assistant and you are sexually attracted to me, send me your resume too. We can talk. But I need to get an assistant because, again, I'm trying to do less stuff I don't like. So we're talking about these emails that we send out every week or every month. And I want to get big on doing these Facebook ads and Twitter ads. And I'm not an expert at that. I'm an expert at comedy. I'm becoming an expert at being a father. I'm becoming an expert at industrial sales, right? So I know my lane. I know what I'm really good at. And social media and marketing is not it. But thank goodness I'm doing well enough financially where I can hopefully pay somebody to do that. Not full time, but I would love to pay somebody to do that. So if you're an assistant for Real Talk, let's have a conversation. But you gotta. What I will look for is somebody that's great at social media. And I guess if they're that great, then they probably don't want to be an assistant. I don't know. That's a hard balance. Maybe I can get somebody that's in college. I want somebody young that really is tapped into social media so that I can grow that fan base. I think that's a big deal. That is good. Social media is not going away. And so I talk to some comics and they're like, I'm not a Twitter comic. I'm like, you better become one real quick or you're going to be extinct. And it's not to say that you can't be great on the road or great on stage, but if you don't have a presence on social media, you just hustling backwards, like Jay-Z said. You're just killing yourself because if you're great on stage, somehow, some way, we need to be able to translate that to being great on Twitter so we can all get 10 million followers and be able to go to any city in America and sell it out, right? That's me. I just want to go to any city in America and be able to get 1,000 people to come to a show. That's it. 1,000 people, $30 a ticket, 30 grand. That's that simple. If I do that, my daughter can go to any college in America or outside of America, and we can live in a nice house, in a nice neighborhood, nice schools, and it'll be good. So anyway, I need an assistant for 2017. I think having an assistant will be more important than dating. I think I'm going to take 2018. I'm going to take it all. I'm going to take dating off. I'm not going to date in 2018. Now, look, I'll go out, but I'm not going to get in a relationship. I'm quick to get in a relationship. I don't know why. But I'm quick, too fast. Me and my brother both, if he listens to this, he'll probably be mad. But I get in a relationship quick, and I realize it's because I don't like hurting people's feelings. And so they ask me for a relationship, and I'm like, well, I really don't want to, but okay. Fuck that. 2018, I'm saying no. Even if it hurts your feelings, I'm telling you in advance, I don't want to be in a relationship. So we can date. We can do all the stuff that goes along with it, but I'm not going to be in a relationship with you, and you're not meeting Harlan. I want what is the appropriate time frame for when you introduce your child to a person you're dating? In my head, it's a year. Because if somebody stays around for a year, then you're like, oh, okay, I deal with them, right? But let me make sure I say this. It's a year of being together, not a year of knowing each other. Because you might know somebody and y'all just start, no, I want to see how you act in a relationship. I want to see how you act when you're emotional. And I don't want different women in and out of my daughter's life. So the reality is, if we're just dating, we're not in a relationship, you'll probably never meet Harlan. And I'm okay with that. She has a good mom. She doesn't need another mom. And so That's how you know if we're dating. You'll know it's gotten serious when I introduce you to Harlan, which probably won't happen. This is the reality. We're in 2018. Harlan will not meet a woman that I'm dating until minimum 2019 at this point. Unless it's Jesus reincarnated into a woman and she comes and does a miracle, then I'll be like, oh, okay, Jesus, I'll introduce you to my daughter. But other than that, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So, but I think I'm going to take 2018 relationship off. I'll do dating. I said dating. I think I'm just not going to do a relationship. And I know people that know me are like, oh, he's jaded. And maybe so, but I get to be jaded. I don't think men get to emote. I don't think we get to have those emotions. And when we do, especially black men, when we do, people pick on us. And, you know, like I saw the Tyrese video when he was crying about his daughter. And I felt his pain because I deal with my own challenges with my daughter's mother. But you, as a man in our head, the number one thing we can do is provide in our head. Now I know that providing means financially, but it also provides security and be there, right? And so in Tyrese's case, I think he said he was paying $13,000 a month. First of all, I don't care how wealthy you are. No kid needs $13,000 unless they go to a private school and school is $10,000 a month. There's no way that a child needs $13,000 a month. And the court's got to do something about this. It shouldn't be based on how much you make. It should be based on what does the child need. Okay, you know what the child needs. Now up it 20% based on intangibles or things happen, right? You don't base it on because this is why. Because if she lived with him, right? If she lived with him, he wouldn't give her $13,000 a month. He would give her, she'd live in his house and he'd take her where she needs to go. And he'd probably give her an allowance of, I don't know, $500. And that's a lot for a kid. So you're telling me what anybody is saying when somebody gets $13,000 a month is what you're saying is he has to take care of her mother. And that's bullshit, right? If we're having this conversation, rightly so, about equality and sexual harassment and sexual assault, those are very smart conversations to have, and they need to be had, right? If we're going for equality. But the other side of that is now when we switch up, it shouldn't be based on income. And I don't know the right formula. We should look at every kid in Riverside County. We should know this is how much it costs to raise a child in Riverside County, right? That's the answer, right? This is how much it costs the average person to raise a child in Los Angeles County, San Diego County, and take that number and be like, all right, this is what we're going to give you, period, per child, right? But it shouldn't be based on his income. So all of a sudden, like Barry Bonds at some point was paying $100,000 a month. Are you kidding me right now? $100,000. What is the kid eating gold? It's just bullshit. Anyway, I don't even know how I got on this topic, but I don't know how I got on this topic. My point is, child support needs to change. I read a book about a lady that talking about co-parenting. And it was such a good book, and she's here in Orange County. And I'm going to reach out to her and ask her if I can interview her because I know that'll be a fantastic conversation. And she's an African-American woman. She's an author. She's an attorney. And I just think it would be great to have that conversation. But anyway, so yeah, in 2018, no women will meet my daughter. 2019, maybe. And I say that, but the way the universe works is anytime you say something that's crazy, they're like, oh, really? And then it goes opposite. So I could be wrong, but at least for now, that's my goal. That's what I'm putting on my goals. I didn't watch any football in 2017 because of the whole Kaepernick thing. That's another, maybe I can get him on. He's my fraternity brother, and I know I could get at him between different people. But that's another one that is, I hope 2018 it goes away. I hope A, Kaepernick gets a job, and B, this whole protest, I was cool with it. To be honest, I've never been a football fan anyway, so the protest was not a big deal. I didn't feel like I was losing anything. I watch a couple games here and there in life, but I didn't watch any games this year. But it just pissed me off that Trump kind of hijacked the narrative. It was like, okay, we're gonna do patriotism versus blacks. They pretty much were saying black people aren't patriotic, which I'm not saying we are or we are not. But if any group in America has a right to be like, fuck America, if any group, it would be African American. And then Jews, of course. But if any group, Jews have a reason to fucking hate Germany. And nobody says, oh, as a Jew, you should love Germany. Everybody's like, we get it. We understand why you don't like Germany, right? Nobody says, hey, African Americans, we get why you don't like America. When it comes to African Americans, they just be like, shut up, take it, and not only take it and love me. It's like pledging. I'm like, yes, sir, big brother, may I have another? And shit is fucking ridiculous. And I'm a patriot. Don't get me wrong. I perform for the troops. I love it. I love America, but loving something, just like my child, right? I love Harlan to death. But when she does something wrong, I acknowledge it, I talk to her about it, and we try to fix it. Right? So somehow we've gotten in this situation where America, especially on Fox News, where if you mention anything that America doesn't do wrong, first thing they say is, well, you don't love your country, get out, go back to Africa. No, fuck you. You brought me here. I'm staying here, A. And B, that to me, that's more love, right? To me, acknowledging where somebody needs help and trying to work on a process to fix it is love. To let somebody just do whatever. It's like if you got a boyfriend or girlfriend and you see their life is going down a toilet, you see them doing cocaine every night and all this, and you just let it go. That's not love, man. And so what African Americans are saying is, America, get off that fucking cocaine. So anyway, it's been about 30 minutes. Thank you for hanging in with me, chopping it up with me. I know I was doing a lot of rambling. 2018. Dating is on, but relationship is off. You're not meeting Harlan, doing Pilates. Remember to be uncomfortable. Be okay being uncomfortable in 2018 because that'll help you grow. Also, if you want to see me live, I'm going to publish the schedule, but follow me at Trenton Comedy on Twitter and Instagram, and I always put my schedule there, and I update it every week so you know where I'm going to be. If you're ever going to be in a city where I am, hit me up, direct message me. I'll try to get you free tickets. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Love you. See you next time. Also, follow Comedy Pop-Up. Follow everybody on the network. Got great podcasts, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.